Hello and welcome to How Not to Suck at Robocraft. Today I'm going to teach you how to build mechs, specifically Tier 5 mechs. I build a lot of mechs and I rather enjoy playing them, but there are a number of tips and tricks that I would like to share as to how to not make your mech suck. This here is Boar. This is one of my beefiest, most powerful mechs, and it is absolutely fucking legendary in medium to close range combat. I'm going to teach you how to build this robot and the tips and tricks that I go through in order to build a fighting machine as excellent as this one. So the first step is to place your legs. The next step, you need you to grab a long arrow rod, turn off mirror mode, and place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, connecting these two legs together. The reason you do this is so that when you take a lot of damage along the middle of your robot, it'll make it very difficult to separate the left leg from the right leg and score a massive critical hit on your mech. Do this anytime you're building a mech. Always connect the legs together using arrow rods in this fashion. Next up, please grab heavy cubes. Do not grab medium cubes, and if you grab a light cube, I am disowning you. Grab heavy armor cubes. They have about 700 more health than medium armor cubes. Next up, we're going to place a set of armor cubes underneath the legs, and I'm going to do an interesting little weave technique using the slope heavy cubes, something that you probably don't see too much. This does not add a ton of health to your robot, but it does keep together the core a little bit better. And when you're done, it should look like that. So you can kind of see the S pattern that each one of these makes, and in the second row here, they do the inverse of that. And then we put armor cubes on top of that. It keeps things together a little bit better. Next up, we are going to grab the Tier 5 laser, and we're going to place it onto the mech. Now, I'm going to place it right here, and one thing I would like you to note is that this back connection point attaches to the mech leg. This is to help keep the guns attached to the legs and vice versa. And it's good to have one of your connection points attached to a major component like that. Next up, we're going to do some absolute wizardry. Please take close notes on this one. We're going to use these, what are they called? Rod frame. We're going to use rod frames, which have quite a bit of health, but primarily they have 4 connection points, and we're going to attach that to the 2 remaining mounts on the laser. And the reason we do this is that in order to destroy the mount point and thus remove the gun, you would have to destroy all of the connection points for the rod frame or blow it up. It just makes it a lot harder to rip the gun off of the mech. If you were to mount the mech directly onto armor cubes on the side of the robot, it would come off a lot easier. So we're going to do this because you really should be doing that. And now I'm going to just build up a lot more armor. This next step is important to help protect your gun. You're going to place as many cubes around the frame of the gun at this level as possible. And you can actually fit a lot of cubes into this space, but you do need to use prisms, tetras, and other shaped blocks in order to do so. Right here, we can place this guy, followed up by this. When you're all done, the interior of this space should look like this. And you can simply place your laser right here on the front mounting point. Adding these extra few blocks doesn't give you much more health, but it does make it a lot harder for somebody trying to shoot at the connection points and blow the gun off. They will have to destroy the gun directly in order to remove it from your robot. I am now going to start adding in the electroplates. So I've got to take out this whole area of red blocks in order to fit it in. Now that I've done that, I'm going to attempt to fit much smaller cubes inside of this space to help fill the mech up with armor. It is possible to fit cubes in a lot of spaces that you would not think possible if you try hard enough. You need to try the different shapes of cubes and rotate them, but usually you can manage to fit armor cubes into a lot of spaces that otherwise you would not be able to fill with armor. And we have embedded the top electroplates. And we're going to slot that guy in there just like that. And now we get to do the same thing all over again and try to fit in smaller armor pieces in places that you normally would not be able to put armor. The interior underneath it should look roughly like this. This is the mounting point right there, and then you can embed all of these prisms and inners in order to fit a lot of armor in here, yet still manage to attach the electroplate. I'm going to add in the weapon energy module next, so I can build the rest of the frame around that. Mounting it in the back of the robot, it's fairly well protected. I personally like being able to see some of my modules and show them off, but if you're paranoid about it, you can shove it inside where nobody can see it too. I'll just think less of you for it. And with that, I have hit 2000 CPU quite quickly, sitting at a little under 3.5 million health, power module, 2 lasers, and mega mech legs. This thing is ready to tear up the battlefield, just as soon as I paint it. Perfect. So there you go. That is my quick guide on how to build a good mech for Tier 5. I have 3 takeaway big points from this. First one, make sure that you attach your mech legs together using arrow rods. 2, use lots and lots of armor, specifically heavy cubes, for your mech. And 3, make sure that you rod force your gun mounts and protect them as much as possible. If you follow those 3 principles, you're probably going to make a half-decent mech. Good luck, and have fun. Come to me. Yep, right there. One down, 14 to go.